Hello everybody, this is Rampage and Mr. B.
Hey everyone,
We're back on the Minecraft server,
I'm
and
building more walls,
he's building walls,
more
and
glass walls.
DK has joined us. He needs me to help him out a bit, and then I will join him. So I will join Mr. B. We're gonna
I'm
go ahead
building
and
glass
deafen.
walls alone?
Hmm?
Oh no.
I hear Rampage through Mr. B's mic, but
You
not Rampage through his mic.
yeah, Mr. B probably undeafened sooner than I did.
Hello, Rampage.
Hello.
I'm surrounded by pigs.
Do you want more on this fishing rod, DK?
I mean, what else could we put on it?
I think I have a bunch of lure books, and I should have Look of the Sea.
What does Look of the Sea do?
It increases the chance for rare items, so like books.
Oh, that would be amazing.
And yeah, stuff like that.
I was just really happy that I pulled like a fishing rod out of the sea.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be doing that more often too. I think I actually have a fishing rod. Hang on. Wait.
Well, I gave you a second fishing rod, but
Mm-hmm.
do you need another one?
Give me 1 second.
Oh, speaking about more pleasant things, I would like to say that Coca-Cola Ultimate is actually pretty yummy. I tried the sugar-free version, and it wasn't bad.
Huh.
Never heard of Coca-Cola Ultimate.
So Coca-Cola Ultimate is... do you remember when they were doing the Space one and Pixel?
No.
All right, so Coca-Cola got some people together and said, make unusually tasting sodas based on a theme. And one of them studied space and came up with this, what they thought space might taste like. And they made it a special Coca-Cola soda. It's like a creative yada yada yada. All the flavors are pretty unique, but it's unusual because it looks like a Coke, but generally can have a lot more fruity flavors into it. Instead of Coke. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Instead of having a Coke that tastes like Coke, you don't taste Coke. What you might taste is like some like a combination of fruit. In fact, I think the space one was like raspberry, not Coke with raspberry, but raspberry.
Huh.
If that makes sense. And though I think the dream one tasted like an orange sickle, and then you taste wood. And that was the most depressing flavor, in my opinion, because it ended on some sort of wooden note, if you will.
I wonder how well those sold.
I don't know. By
I
the way,
suspect not very well because you've never heard of them.
Yeah.
by the way, Rampage, do you want to know something funny? I got another fishing rod.
Oh.
Would you like to take a look at it?
Sure.
Did you leave the house already?
Yeah.
He's speedy.
I go places.
What do you think of that? What's
That's
the chances
actually-
of that?
That's actually pretty good. Huh.
think that probably is going to go into your collection.
Yeah. That can be very useful. I need.
But yeah, Coca-Cola Ultimate. They're doing it to advertise League of Legends this time.
Hmm.
And it's definitely comes with some sort of. For me, it tasted very fruity, like this subtle fruity flavors. My mom didn't really detect it, but I also did the sugar-free version, obviously. Generally, you won't find these creative ones outside of like smaller boxes or like in little bottles by the front of the store.
Hmm.
I don't think I ever got to taste what Pixel tasted like.
What would that taste like?
I'm not sure. But
Pixel
I discovered
like the
yeah, like a computer Pixel, yeah.
oh, not like the Studio. I guess that's not really Pixel.
Yeah, that's Pixar.
Pixar.
But the space one, the whole justification for that is that when they looked at this one nebula, they found the same notes that you would find in in raspberries, and that's why they went with that.
Okay.
I thought that was interesting.
What does note mean in that context?
What do you mean?
They found the same note.
I'm sorry. So they found some of the same compounds that are that give raspberries their flavor in the nebula.
Huh.
So they thought they were being funny. Okay, I have a efficiency 4 sharpness 3 book. Do I just add that to your books?
Yeah. Yeah.
I keep pressing the wrong button. Oh, there we go. I found an empty shelf.
If
I miss shelves from our modded Minecraft.
Yeah. There were a lot of nice things in modded Minecraft.
Well, I kind of liked fixing my tools with like basic materials.
Yeah, that was also kind of nice.
Like, I just need to build the thing and I can mend it. Yeah, I liked that. I missed that. Tinkerers, the cooking. Oh my gosh. That's one thing this Minecraft is missing, is cooking.
Proper cooking.
Yes.
Not just throw something in a furnace and have it do black magic.
I remember when we first made bread in that Stargate mod.
Wasn't that like really involved?
Yeah, it was like 3 ingredients. Like wheat and eggs and water. But once we had a kitchen connected to the when we had the sink added to our kitchen set, it automatically provided water to any recipe.
Infinite water.
And do you remember how we were like, we had that whole watering system?
The one
We
that
have the
had
whole
like all the
sprinkler system.
buckets that grabbed rainwater.
Yeah, we built that whole system, and then like the mods were mean and they moved spawn.
Yeah.
Of course, I think the one thing I didn't like about the Stargate mod was not being able to trust dirt.
Why couldn't you trust dirt?
It would turn into monsters sometimes when you
Ah,
break it.
okay, yeah. Yeah, I think I remember that. Didn't the same thing happen with stone? I feel like the same thing happened with stone.
We had a lot of different things happen in Stone. But I think we found this one really cool one, but we never actually got around to playing it.
What was like the base theme?
It was one that actually had like a more enveloped like step-by-step quest system for like learning all these really cool mods, like magic mods and so forth.
Huh.
I tried to talk everyone else into trying it, but I don't think we ever did.
I don't
We did
remember it.
mixed version, and then everything kind of collapsed. Of course, playing Nick's one just felt like we were playing Necessi, except the villagers were less useful.
I think I remember that one.
It was Necessi is the one that was like that top-down Terraria game.
Yeah, I mean the mod pack. I think I remember it.
Yeah, things kind of collapsed there because things were supposed to be automated, but it seemed like they weren't automated well. And everything was so prepackaged. You know what I mean?
I think so. Yeah. And then we had the one the one mod pack that we did decently recently, which was we were all underground and the world was all stone.
What really saddened me about being the stone one was it was kind of depressing not seeing the sky.
Yeah, there was like for me it was more there's nothing really to explore at all. Because I feel like mod packs, in my opinion, are kind of carried by the structures and
Yeah.
like the terrain generation, and all of that wasn't there.
Yeah. Well,
And
it
then-
was mostly like I don't mind doing a little bit of mining, but
Yeah, that mod pack made some things fast or some things slow so that they could be slow. And there was no other purpose. Like
and then the chickens basically just ended the purpose of everything else.
yeah.
Like the chickens basically made almost everything worthless.
Me and Gabe had our own little thing going on that server where we were getting the infinity armor and like the infinity sword, which basically the infinity sword one shot everything, And the Infinity Armor made you invincible, allowed you to fly, gave you speed, gave you haste. So, really, really overpowered. But all it was to get it was like you build a few blocks and then you wait. And you just keep waiting for a long, long time. I think we got a bunch of items that increased the speed of these things that would
Mhm.
produce this item, and I think it still only came to like one every like 6 hours, and we easily needed over 1,000 for one piece of armor. And it's like at that point, like you're just having people wait so that they can wait.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing there.
I would continue this CP museum, but I can't type, so
Mm.
like I type at work, but I do the chicken peck with my right hand, basically.
Ah. Yeah, that's a lot of words to write like that.
I would write such long things for work, but I wouldn't do it for pleasure.
Yeah.
Oof.
So, Mr. B, how's it going with the walls?
Ran out of glass, so I had to go get more sand.
I have to
Just
say
got a
this.
bunch more sand.
I need to make myself a cup of coffee. I would make myself some G Fuel, but then I'll get in trouble.
You'll get in trouble?
I'm supposed to limit how much caffeine I drink a day.
Ah.
So you can drink coffee instead?
I mean, it's significantly
G Fuel
less.
is 140 milligrams of caffeine.
Okay.
A cup of coffee is like 60.
So significantly less, you say?
So half. So coffee has half.
A little less than half. Or a little less than half. Because if it was 70 in coffee, then it would be half.
So coffee is a better choice. So I really do like that G Fuel. And the sad thing is it has no sugar. G Fuel has no sugar. And I have this giant, super big cup now that I mix drinks in from the hospital.
Hmm.
So I found that was much better than. So G Fuel comes with a little shaker cup, and that thing is too small to make G Fuel. What I mean is, you can make it, but the G Fuel will return to powder because there's not enough water for it to properly saturate. So the shaker cup is completely worthless. The small shaker cup, completely worthless. I find works better in a much larger container. Because that way the powder actually stays as a liquid
Mm-hmm.
instead of dissolving back to powder. it seems that G Fuel understands that and has now started selling bigger ones. But I did buy one of their larger ones, but it was a special one. It was a slushy cup, which I plan on making snow cones in.
And how many snow cones have you made?
I've made a lot previously before I was in the hospital.
That since?
Well, the thing is, my parents don't feel comfortable leaving me alone anymore.
Mm.
So I can't make snow cones because it's a very noisy machine.
As it grinds the ice?
Mine is deafeningly loud.
Mm-hmm.
It's great because you just throw regular ice cubes in it and it just turns it into snow cone. It's not the perfect snow cone because, you know, the perfect snow cone would be a specific ice shape and you shave it. But you know what? It's fine for me. But what I do, I fill a giant. So my little snow cone machine looks like a little cart, but it's like it fits on the stovetop.
Okay.
So it has a big box that you can basically fill with ice, essentially. And then you take your little scoop and you move the shaved ice to whatever container you want.
Mm.
So I usually make a lot because, interesting enough, a box full of ice tends to keep itself cold. Who would have thought? I have to give the makers of that snow cone machine an applaud because it's such a simple idea. Because the actual machinery is something that can just be lifted off the top of the box. So cleanup is just cleaning up the little plastic box, which can fill quite a lot of ice. So with the machinery on top, though, it seals the box. So cleaning is really simple because you just take the machine and you move it to the side and just take the whole little cart thing and put it upside down. And you can let it dry. Or you can take some towels and dry it, obviously. But anyway, I'm going to make a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I got excited talking about snow cones. I will explain my love of snow cones later.
So how many of these are actually producing now?
What do you mean? How many furnaces?
Yeah, how many machines? You got 4 machines.
Two of them are, I need a bit of glass
There should
myself.
be some in one of these.
And then I'm close to getting a third going.
We use an awful lot of glass.
Yeah. It's because I'm building the main thing out of glass.
Just waiting for the glass.
Yeah, the problem with my my design there is it's designed to run with waste. So when there's no waste, it's not at peak efficiency. Wait, I can get this
So
cup.
you still need a whole bunch more glass even after I finish the walls, right?
Yeah. So I don't need nearly as much, but if you come to me, where are you? I need to build all of this bottom structure
Yeah.
on all of them, and if you go to the back of the machine, there's a line that goes
Yeah.
behind it all.
Yeah, no, so I just need to go get more sand.
Which, if you use that shovel, should be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Just don't let it break. I don't think you'll run into that problem, but I know where the desert is. If you want a
Oh, that's
desert,
good. There's something real close here. Doesn't take me long. Just sand all over.
one, two, three, four, five, six.
Oh, this is much faster. The sand just like explodes.
Yeah, it's an instant break, as long as you're not falling.
I think the beach warden's going to be upset with me. I'm destroying his beaches.
I don't know why the mobs walk off the edge so much. Like they'll
May
just.
I say,
Hmm?
the smell of coffee is amazing. Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
I'm watching a skeleton because it tries to shoot me and it just walks off. Like it happens so often. I don't understand why.
You will not have the satisfaction of killing me.
Oh, kind of a funny thing about coffee.
Hmm?
You know, some people have been spreading this awful rumor that
That is-
light roast has more caffeine than a dark roast. This is an absolute deception. Old wives' tale. Wrong. This has been tested by one of the. This has actually been tested and discovered to be just absolute fabrication, absolute lie. Whatever logic they were using to come to this conclusion was just wrong. Dark roast have the most caffeine in them. Light roast has a little less caffeine in it than a medium roast. A medium roast has a little less caffeine in it than a dark roast.
Huh.
So anyone spreading these weird rumors that light roast has more caffeine, you're wrong. Please stop doing it. You're spreading bad information.
How did this come up if it's like so provably wrong?
Some people will just randomly tell people this.
Huh. Yeah, I
And
mean,
they'll
I guess
use
that
some
makes
sort
sense.
of like logic. They'll use some sort of crazy logic to explain it. Which is unfortunate. Because unfortunately, when you take one of those caffeine testers, and definitely a coffee expert decided to put it to the test, they were also. Oh, well, the shader's reloaded. The only thing that really surprised them was to discover that instant coffee caffeine index was not what they thought it would be. In their mind, instant coffee would have more caffeine in it.
Yeah.
And they discovered they were wrong.
Yeah. I would assume. Wait, why would it not? Isn't like the whole purpose of instant coffee to have caffeine?
Oh, it has caffeine in it. It does. Just not as much as a brewed coffee.
Huh.
But you can fix that by adding more instant coffee to your coffee, obviously, if you made it stronger and didn't follow the instructions.
Just add a couple more scoops.
I mean, that's the whole point of instant coffee, really. Is that you have a lot more things you can physically adjust. Oh, I made some caribou obsidian.
You made
haven't had-
coffee out of caribou.
That's the brand. Caribou.
Hmm.
See, when you know those Keurigs first came out,
Mm-hmm.
there were two very popular bold coffees. Caribou Obsidian and Dark Magic.
Mm.
And ironically, those are my favorite. I think there is one called Jet Fuel, but it just made me think of mechanic coffee, and I know better. Because, well, you remember how I used to work at the airlines?
Yeah.
I had a mechanic make mechanic.
Huh.
It tasted of armpit. Most unpleasant thing I've ever tasted. I don't know what they did to my precious coffee to make it do that. What's funny is we had this water fountain next to the hangar, and I actually would take the coffee pot to the after I washed it out in a sink, I would take it to this water fountain and fill it because I found its water to be yummier
Hmm. That's
and
fair.
crisper and cooler, and I found it just made really good coffee. And the general manager would yell at me because he was like, "Oh, the waters in the sink are filtered. You know, you should use that." Interesting
it's
enough,
not as
when it comes to
good.
coffee, you actually kind of want some sort of you do want minerals in the water, certain ones at a very specific concentration level. You know, they actually make something called coffee water.
Huh.
And what coffee water is, it's a treatment that you do to water to make it make yummier coffee. So while I was in the hospital, I basically started to read this actual like award-winning barista who decided to go way too much into coffee and is like a major advisor to a lot of coffee companies. And I just basically just started learning things about coffee that I didn't know.
Well, it seems like you have
And-
gained a lot of information about coffee. So,
Well, when you're in a hospital and your internet connection is 4G and spotty, when they moved me somewhere else, things like Amazon worked a lot better.
ah,
But couldn't watch Disney. Disney just didn't like work at all. It was like 140p potato, and that was unwatchable. Amazon worked. I was kind of scared to use HBO.
Why were you scared to use HBO?
Just because of the video quality is usually like Disney and HBO tend to have really high video quality. Disney actually sometimes will even give you something that's in that is like theater, like theater aspect ratio. If it finds out your phone like supports it, which my phone does.
Yeah,
that really
wouldn't work well in hotel Wi-Fi, I don't think, or in hospital, not hotel.
Well, the thing is, I refuse to use the Wi-Fi because it's a public Wi-Fi. And I have a banking app on my phone. I just decided I wasn't going to trust it.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna sit and like put any information on their Wi-Fi. I just used my 4G. I had a TV, but like I couldn't read it, so it wasn't very useful.
Yeah, that's rough.
Because they put me so far away from it, and I don't see so well.
I mean, you could still use the TV though, right?
I could turn it on, but the thing is, the way it worked is you used a guide to select a channel to see a movie.
No, that would be a problem.
Also, when I first like was staying in the hospital, I wasn't strong enough to really use that remote control very well. A little frustrating. But it also has all your call buttons on it to call for help. Later, I discovered that there was a call button physically on the bed. Which was great because my remote would continuously disappear.
Your remote disappeared?
Yeah, sometimes I would come and the remote would be gone.
That's problematic for a lot of reasons.
I mean, but the thing is, if I needed to call for help, I still had my trusty button on the bed. And then I would pray that someone would come eventually.
Are they not fast to respond?
Sometimes no one came.
Is there like different levels of help I'm dying?
Yes.
And like
yeah.
Because like if the button you use to like, hey, can I have water please, is the same button that you use for help I'm dying, then that's an interesting choice, and it's also very problematic that they don't respond immediately.
There's 4 call buttons on the remote. On the bed, there's only one.
So the one
The
on the
one on...
Hmm?
Oh, go ahead.
I would assume the one on the bed is then like, help, I'm dying.
No, that's just the general king request.
Wait, so if you lost the remote, or the remote was too far away from you to use it, because if you're dying, you would presumably either be panicked or weak, and so you might not be able to access the remote. So you press the one on the bed, and it's like, oh, can someone please see me soon? And it's not,
Uh,
help, I'm dying.
I mean, the thing is, it basically calls the front desk of the nurse's station. And if the nurse isn't there because she's doing something else, no one else is going to see it.
Hmm.
So there's also so on the remote, there was like bathroom, other bathroom, something else that I don't remember, and I'm in pain, and a general ping button.
Hmm.
Generally, I was nervous to hit the kind of bigger button because I'm in pain. And like, if you want ice cream really bad, that to me did not call for hitting I'm in pain.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like the right escalation.
Yeah.
Then I got yelled at for not pushing that button because that's apparently that one pings your personal nurse,
Huh.
your room nurse, and but the thing is to me that it just doesn't seem like
Yeah,
it seems a little...
you don't want
Yeah,
someone to be panicked running towards you to make sure that you're all right. If you want some ice cream
yeah,
or like some water.
or a popsicle.
Yeah, like that should the general ping should be towards the room nurse as well.
No, apparently that one just goes to the nurse desk on the floor.
Why?
And then she has to dispatch and find someone to send to you.
Huh.
And she might actually answer, but the person she sent didn't actually arrive.
Huh.
Sometimes I was left with a thing because in your bed it makes your bed start flashing,
Mhm.
and kind of funny. Um, and the person who would just be doing the rounds to see if just the normal, oh, it's now this time, now I'm going to check if you're still breathing and check your vitals, make sure your vitality is good,
Mhm.
right? Sometimes they would be the one to come in curious why my bed light was flashing. like I'm like, someone was supposed to be coming.
I was told someone would arrive, and that hasn't happened.
I had a unfortunate accident in the hospital in which I used the bedside commode incorrectly.
Huh.
I used it very incorrectly.
Oh.
My shirt was extra long, and the shirt they put me in, and instead of when I sat in the bedside commode, it went underneath me. So I ended up just going in the shirt, basically.
Huh.
Which that definitely was an emergency at that point. But I just reached for the bed thing, and someone did come, and I said, "Help! I've done something very foolish," you know.
Yeah.
And they went, "Oh, someone else will be here," and then they just left.
Bruh.
And like 30 minutes passed. Welcome back.
Hello.
So I was a little depressed, and then when the nurse finally found me, she was like, "Give me the name of the person who said they'll be right back, because that's not the right answer." Unfortunately, you know, when you have people just like randomly walk into your room, did you enjoy your magical journey, Mr. B?
My magical computer rebooted itself journey. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know why that's been happening, Mr. Ray? Because I feel like it's been happening a lot.
Nope.
I think Mr. B's computer is sad. That's
Mm.
my official diagnosis as a technician.
Ah. Very qualified. As well.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. We actually did have someone who they couldn't print, right, locally, right. So I like went into their printers, and it wouldn't open. Like, you know, the control panel wouldn't open that feature of the control panel in Windows.
Huh.
And I'm like, sir, let's try a reset. Okay. And after restarting, he was good. Golden. Printing worked just fine. He asked me what was wrong. All I could tell him was his computer was sad. And it's no longer sad. And had it... and he didn't quite like that answer at first, but like I tried to make him realize I don't know why it was doing that. There was something definitely wrong, but it's fixed now. I mean, computers get sad being left on for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And like services break, things turn off, Windows just does weird things. I can't tell you why it does that, but restarting fixes a lot of problems. Because it generally gives the computer a nice refresh. Sometimes shutting down doesn't have the same effect, which is interesting.
Huh. I didn't know that shutting it down wouldn't have the same effect. That is weird.
Though I had one person who had a bunch of like pop-ups just appearing on their screen.
That smells like a virus.
Overwhelming them. And I realized that they had just gone to a dumb web page that just had a script running that was just opening the same page over and over. So I had them sign out. That immediately fixed the problem. Signing out can fix some problems too. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, but sometimes if your computer's acting oddly, just signing out, because it just like turns everything off. But yeah, rebooting fixes a lot of problems. Unless you have the Master Stealth Boot.
The Master Stealth Boot? Huh?
Oh, let me tell you this story. My father bought some floppies from like, I think it was like one of the office stores,
Mm-hmm.
and they had used floppies, which was 50% off.
Because that's trustworthy.
I left one of his floppies in my computer when I restarted, in which then it loaded the Master Stealth Boot virus, in which it would slowly adjust the boot record for the computer.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have trusted any of those discs at all.
All those floppies were had a virus on it.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, that's like buying used USB drives. It's like, you know, there might not be a virus.
I mean,
Maybe.
I reformat. I you know, did the format that? Well, they were blank, right? They said they were already reformatted. Obviously not. Apparently, the store was just physically selling viruses.
Woo.
I told my dad from now on, new floppy disks.
New only.
I was only a child, so I didn't know necessarily I knew this was a problem, so we just took it to Gateway, who we bought the computer from, and paid them $50 to get rid of it.
Ah.
But I was a child, so I didn't I had heard of these things. These were not things like I would expect. And I realized, as kind of like the computer expert in my family, I had to kind of step up more. And essentially, I kind of generally, I would make the tech decisions. Or I would be there as an advisor to any tech decision.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm done with the walls.
All right.
The water on this one is obviously has a problem because lots of piggies survive right here.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's causing that. All of them? So the problem that I'm having, Mr. B, is all of them broke, and I don't know why. Like all of them just decided to break.
Yeah, this one in particular now, it looks like this one's working better.
Yeah, I've fixed that one. This one I did differently. So,
It's not a big deal, except for that we have a whole bunch of piggies now.
well,
like
it's
a lot of them.
inefficient, and that's bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure you could fix it later. I'm just saying. I
Oh,
don't have a need
don't-
to
don't-
buy.
Don't worry, Mr. B. We'll bring Nick in to test the efficiency,
Yeah.
and he'll delete everything and make everyone redo it.
His computer just restarted again, forcibly. Is there like a Windows reset or restart button? Like there's like a hotkey.
Some keyboards do have that.
Because like, oh yeah, when was the last time you updated your driver, Mr. B? Because that seems like a thing that would cause that problem. This going twice?
Oh, by the way, I have 2 Nautilus shells.
Oh?
Yeah. I don't know how much you need those.
They are useful. I don't think we need them now. But they are a good thing to have because they're annoying to get. I need this to go on.
Ah, I obtained a bow of Mending Power 4, Unbreaking 3, Curse of Vanishing.
That is pretty good actually because Curse of Vanishing isn't real.
Oh.
Yeah, Curse of Vanishing is removed entirely with Keep Inventory being on. So that's actually pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
So there was a new NVIDIA driver released 10 days ago.
Oh, I need to get that then. I don't have
We'll
that.
try that.
I need to update my AMD one eventually because Monday, Immortals of Avaram comes out.
What's that?
Yo, what is that?
It is a first-person mage game.
What was it? Say again?
It's a first-person mage game. It's called Immortals of Avaram.
Immortal?
I
'Cause-
can show you the Steam page. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, because that sounds kind of fun if it's well made.
Says us who've never played the Hogwarts mage game.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
That one's pretty good too, isn't it, DK? Have you finished it?
I've never played the Hogwarts game.
I thought you
I've-
said
I've
you
only-
had.
I played Forspoken.
I thought you said you played.
No,
Oh,
I
Hogwarts.
watched someone play it.
Oh, okay.
I've been always meaning to get Hogwarts eventually.
Did you get Baldur's Gate?
I haven't bought that game for me in early access.
Have you played any of it?
Well, in early access, it played so poorly on my PC, I just kind of uninstalled it.
Oh,
Oh. Well,
Because I just basically felt like I was playing, Neverwinter Nights, and I could just play Neverwinter Nights. You know what I mean?
hmm
yeah. Especially if
It's never-
that just gives you better performance.
Neverwinter Nights was made like ancient times. It uses like Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 rule set.
Ah. That's the one that has like really big numbers, and that's about all I know about it.
It's roughly the same thing. I think I bought all of y'all Neverwinter Nights.
Yeah, we own it.
We played it a little bit.
We walked around for like 10 minutes in the tutorial. I think that's about all we did. Actually, I think I stole something from someone. Still in the tutorial.
An interesting thing about that game is that it has so many different campaigns built into it, but it also has an actual module maker where you can just make your own maps and campaign.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also just download campaigns from the internet. So it's like infinite D&D adventures, basically. I love their map maker. I love their whole system. I kind of went pretty deep in that. I was working on 2 modules before that PC failed.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, I sent y'all a link to Immortals of Avaram.
Yeah, I will. I will look at it. Once I.
It's published by EA, actually.
That's concerning to me. I don't know how I feel about that now.
But if you want to see something scary, look at the system requirements.
Oh yeah, because that's where modern gaming has gone.
That makes sense. Because it's touching the voice and video, because video cards do all that stuff.
So the minimum is an RTX 2080, and the recommended is a RTX 3080 Ti.
But it uses DirectX version 12. I don't necessarily have a
111
system.
available space. What?
It's a big game.
Man.
Yeah. But I pre-ordered it because I wanted to play it. I pre-ordered this back before I went to the hospital. But I hope it's good. If I can't play it, that's okay as well.
Yeah, those are interesting requirements.
Now,
I would like if it was made by an indie developer. Even if that meant it didn't look as good, which I don't know that that's even true, because Unreal Engine 5 is incredible. But
yeah.
Well,
it's published by EA, but it's made by someone else.
Okay, hang on. Because developer. Okay, so if you go to the developer, it just takes you to EA and FIFA 23, EA
Yeah,
Sports.
Let me see what games they've actually made.
New releases, Madden. So I think that is just another name for EA.
No, sometimes I've discovered that Steam doesn't actually link anything to the developer.
Okay, if I look up the developer's name, upcoming releases. Okay, so I looked up the developer's name, and it does not have the game as an upcoming release. It has, but this developer that I don't think is the actual developer has made Neon Rage and Amazing Adventures, which are both VR games. So I don't think that's right.
So these are. Oh, okay, I see. So this studio was originally was actually made of former EA and Sledgehammer Games devs. So you'd have to look up Sledgehammer Games to see their pedigree. After Telltale Games went bankrupt in 2018, most of the developers working in the studio moved to Ascendant. So you also have the people who make the Telltale games.
Huh. Well, hopefully they would like not be the mechanic makers of the game, and
so essentially this is a new studio formed from originally Sledgehammer and former EA employees, and then also they took all the Tall Tale people in as well.
Yeah, I don't. That doesn't sound like in the
This is going to be their first game, basically, as a studio.
I mean, everyone's experienced, so I mean that's good. The problem then would be EA is the publisher, so who knows
Ironically,
what they'll
is that
force
they
in.
went single player only.
Huh?
Yeah,
This is a single player game?
yeah.
There's
Single
no,
player only.
there's no multiplayer at all.
No multiplayer at all.
I don't think that will last long. They can, if they do the combat well, they could make so much money off of having multiplayer. Cause like you can have a campaign and you can have like a wave mini game, but I don't. I hear. I look at the like their master your magic and unleash your arsenal of spells and all that, and I think this is gonna be adapted into either like a tactical shooter or something like Battlefield or Modern Warfare.
Yeah. So if you look at the store page, it's single player only,
Huh.
and it comes out Monday. This Monday.
Wow.
So tomorrow.
I guess we'll see what the reviews say, or at least I will before I make any purchases.
I mean, all I know is I just want more Magic games. There is an indie like Magic game I'm also interested in. It's Rise of the Archmage.
I know there was one Magic game that was like super well received, and apparently it was like super in depth and really interesting, but it was also like a really hard game. No, I can't remember what it was called. It was very pixel arty.
Yeah, I kind of want like Forspoken really did like scratch a lot of like places for me. But it was third person. I kind of want to. The problem with Forspoken is that everything is gone, and everyone who is like an existing mage is a bad guy. So there's like one village, and every single mage turned super evil. They were the original protectors of the land. Some weird mist came in and corrupted them. And every time I kill one of those mages, I get all their magical. Like I gain access to their type of magic. But I really want to so this game isn't going to scratch everything as all. I really want a game that fixes the failings of Elder Scrolls. Because you become in Elder Scrolls, I want a mage guild experience of like working with the guild, being sent on missions, and like working on like maybe some smaller promotions, because I assure you in every Elder Scroll game you end it with becoming the supreme leader of the Mages Guild. In which then nothing happens, and like you being the leader of the guild does absolutely nothing. There was no point in talking with these people, learning their stories, getting to know them. there's like 6 or 7 missions, and you go on like 6 or 7 quests, and you become the leader of the guild. At least Oblivion was a little bit more reasonable. So Oblivion made you have to prove to join the academy and the guild itself. You had to go to every guild hall and get the guild leader's approval. So you'd have to go to every single town and find the guild leader, find out like what their test was, convince them to let you join. Join. And once you have everyone's signature, you went to the academy or the mage guild headquarters in the capital, and that's when you started your actual mage training. And it started with you getting your first staff, in which you'd have to do a quest line to get a staff. And there was this whole quest for getting your staff, and slowly kind of doing some research about some of the mages that left, learning some kind of like dark procedure for making dark soul gems. And so Oblivion's was a lot more elaborate. Skyrim, everyone hates the Mages Guild, and there's only one guild hall. And you kind of become the Archmage real quick. And that to me is disappointing.
Yeah.
I want a game just completely about that, the guild itself. You know what I mean? Like being a member of the guild and going on doing missions for the guild hall and all that. And very few games kind of like touch that, if you will. So this game, at least I have allies that I can see. So I feel like maybe I won't get everything I want, but at least I won't be alone. That is a big problem, I feel like, because even being the Archmage, you can't just like order the guild to do anything.
What's the point of being the Archmage if you can?
You get access to the Archmage's garden, which refreshes herbs.
Nice. Wow.
Like every 3 days, it's a massive garden of things that you could pick. It is a wide assortment and very useful, but that's I don't know. It's like it'd be great if you had some sort of influence. Oh, also, Bethesda will be releasing a new game soon.
Also, hello, Limbo.
Starfield.
Hello.
Hello.
I can't believe that you're like duplicating more spawners.
I ran out. So I needed
ran
more.
out.
Yeah, I ran out. I ran out.
Just use less.
No. No, I that's not an option. I needed more. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
But by the way, Limbo, that was just kind of a joke going on with that little song thing.
Okay.
Before I went to the hospital, I was unconscious and unresponsive, so.
Oh, yeah, okay.
My mom thought I was dead. But, like the cat, I always come back.
Oh yeah. You always
So I was just playing on words. I apologize.
I was just confused because you pinged me. I'm like, what did I do?
Well, you said Sia DK?
Yeah.
And that's why I say I refuse. There's no Sia DK because the cat always comes back.
Okay.
And then I put the little YouTube video showing.
Well, then there is a Sia DK because I did in fact see you later.
See you later.
You did come back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
see you.
never
DK.
goodbye. It's always see you
Yeah.
later.
So you didn't refuse to see me. You just refused.
I'm
I don't know what you were refusing in that situation actually at all. I'm really confused.
I'm
Yeah.
never leaving. I'm always here.
Okay. Well,
Because
I'm
the cat
leaving.
always comes back.
I have to go eat dinner, so I'm actually leaving.
Oh, well, that was short-lived.
I really needed to know, okay? I had to know.
Well,
Okay,
take care, Rambo.
bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, good luck with your spawner trap for the pigs. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when she said see you, DK, I looked at the date that it was like 7:30, and I was doing a play on words, and I don't think she caught it. Thought he was the honor, but the cat came back the very next day. That's why I put the little cartoon link so she could see the song.
Mr. B, I believe the third one is now functional. Uh, not too much, I don't think. Yeah, that should be enough. I don't think I'm using... Because all I need to do now with the glass is build the back and the structure that supports the water. And I don't think that will take too much glass.
Oh, Rampage, probably the only thing you'll need to do for the emulator is to set up the controls and the visuals that will make you the most happiest. I will say that your visual choices will probably not make sense to you, so you'll probably have to compare that later.
Wait, why wouldn't they make sense?
Because generally the video settings are going to be different people's ideas of what looks good.
Uh-huh.
And so you'll have choices of different people's kind of graphical way of doing it.
Huh.
Uh, generally, just pick one that looks, and then when you play it, you can kind of play with the settings and see what that looks like. But I wouldn't play with scan lines. That's just weird. Do you know what scan lines are?
No. Oh, scan
Okay.
lines?
Yeah.
Like the coding thing?
Okay, so allow me to explain. Old old monitors, they would do something called interlacing. This is where every other row would exist, and then it would fill in the other row, and the other ones become black, and it would kind of anyway. It would create this very specific effect on old TVs and monitors.
Hmm.
It's an unnecessary effect. Some people like that though. But with the controls, you generally can just, you don't need to use a controller. You can just mount it to keyboard controls. Like moving up is the up arrow, yada yada yada.
The up arrow. Not W?
You don't want to do that
Why?
because you won't be using your mouse.
Wait, why? What?
You'd just be using the keyboard. Why would you be using the mouse at all? The game doesn't like feature a mouse interface.
Huh. That's
so,
weird.
So you're trying to configure an SNES controller to your keyboard, basically.
Hmm.
Essentially, a game that was made specifically for for controller, because you know. So you just personally, I always did like up arrow is up on the D-pad, left is left arrow on the D-pad, you know, yada yada yada. And then I would use like ASDF and ZXCV, but you can do whatever you want. I won't tell you what to do. I would just suggest
Whoa,
putting the
that's
controls near each other.
weird. Those are weird controls.
Well, the idea is those are the face buttons.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
strange. Oh.
You can also just use a controller if you feel more comfortable with that.
Huh.
That's how I used to do it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what
We'll
happens.
see. Yeah. Yeah.
If I can, because like, I'm assuming that the buttons would be pretty universal in their use.
Yeah, L does like a lot of different things.
Huh.
Cuz like you have an action button that like opens up a menu that lets you get a decision. Are you talking to this person? Are you inspecting something? Yada yada. L1 just immediately talks to the person basically.
Hmm.
Uh it's faster to just use L to talk to people, obviously. The game comes with some customization, though. You get to name every single character in the game.
Oh.
The game will also ask you what your favorite food is. And you're probably wondering why the game is asking what your favorite food is.
Yeah.
Because your character's mom will always prepare that for you.
Which food is the best to have?
It doesn't matter. It's all about customizing the experience for you.
Hmm.
Your favorite thing will become the name of your special attack that you'll get later on. So your favorite thing kind of has a so the idea is you're customizing certain things for your own kind of personal experience. If you there is a don't care button, and the game will just let you will autofill something in, and you can hit don't care a bunch of times to go through a bunch of like auto thought up ideas.
Hmm.
The default name for the characters is Ness, Paulette, Jeff, and Pooh. And ironically, this game is a very long game,
Really?
so we will not be completing it in one night. It will be an adventure. But the game does take place in a more modern setting. So it's kind of weird. You have like this whole call to adventure
Mm-hmm.
that you would see in more fantasy style things, but it takes place in a modern world with cars and hamburger places and coffee joints and pizza delivery.
Oh.
You can actually call. You could pick up a phone and call call the pizza company to come deliver you a pizza, and after a while they'll come and bring you your pizza. There's also a kind of like FedEx type thing where you can call someone to take your items and store them for you.
Do
So how do
they
you what's up?
do they like charge you
I
or
think there's just like a light fee. You continuously get money in the game, provided by your father. Actually,
huh?
your father is actually someone you talk to quite a lot, but you never see him.
Hmm.
Because he's at work and he continuously transfers money to your ATM as you play the game. He also is how you save your game. You call him up, you tell him about all your adventures, and he records it and writes it down for you. He will also tell you about any money that he's deposited into your account. When you defeat enemies and pursue the story, he adds money to your account basically.
So
In which, yes, you have to go to an ATM machine and withdraw the money out of the ATM machine.
wow, people order. We can order pizzas, but the monsters don't have gold in their pocket. Very sad.
No. Well, the idea is some people actually some enemies will have presents that you can take upon defeating them. Sometimes it's like a loaf of bread or croissant.
Huh.
Well, enemies drop different things, but the first enemies you fight are like snakes and crows, spiteful crows. Um, the game also has an interesting feature in which there are no random encounters. You see the enemies on screen, so you
Hmm.
could choose to walk away from them.
That's nice.
Uh, if you get close to them, they will pursue you. You can flee from them though. If they have your back, it becomes a surprise attack. If you get behind them, you surprise attack them.
Huh.
Also, if the game has calculated that they are a low level nuisance, they will auto be defeated and you'll just receive XP.
Huh.
So once the game has detected that you have like leveled so far above them that they are no longer a suitable encounter, the game will just have you auto defeat them.
Huh. That's convenient.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense too, really.
Yeah.
Because why would you want to fight a bunch of enemies that are like so low level their XP is irrelevant? You shouldn't have to really worry about them.
Mm-hmm.
This sometimes makes leaving dungeons very easy. Interesting enough, your main character's weapons are bats, but there are some weapons that is kind of like anyone can use it, like yo-yos.
Hmm. I feel like that. I mean, I don't think I could use a yo-yo with the efficiency of like as an actual weapon.
Jeff, he gets various forms of guns.
Well, I feel like he just wins by default in every encounter.
You would think so, but some of the guns are like toy guns, and
Ah,
they become slightly more powerful over time.
I was
Paula
thinking like he just
generally
pulls out a
uses-
Glock and wins.
Oh,
But
not those kind of guns.
yeah, I was like, he's just gonna pull out an AK-47 and no one's gonna be able to stop him.
Paula uses cast iron pans of various types.
Huh.
She's also your mage. Your character is also a magic user, but not as. Paula has more offensive and defensive moves than your character. Your character has your special, and your character does get magic, but at a very different pace than Paula.
I see.
Paula is like the super mage. Your character's kind of a in between magic and physical. And
Yeah,
then you
makes
have
sense.
who is like a ninja. Not a ninja, but like a Shaolin monk, basically. He uses only his fist. He has only one weapon in the game. And his only one weapon in the game can only be obtained in one area with the most lowest drop rate possible.
Huh.
I've
it-
never picked it up.
Is it really good?
Yes, it's a sword.
And it is so it's like best weapon in the game?
It's the only weapon he can get.
Hmm.
That's the thing. That's the only weapon he's allowed to use.
Have you like attempted to have you like gone out of your way for a while to try to get it?
Yes.
And
It's that rare.
you just gave up.
I've beaten the game multiple times.
So
It's not required.
it's like getting a shiny Pokemon, except the shiny Pokemon is shiny-er.
It makes his character more useful.
Hmm.
Interesting enough with Jeff is he's also the character I tend to put my bottle rockets with.
Bottle rocket?
Yeah, he's also kind of your tech guy. He's a science. He's like he's a really smart kid.
So he's a ninja science guy who can only ever use a sword.
No, Jeff. No, Jeff.
Ah,
Jeff. He's the science guy.
okay.
By the way, a funny thing.
Mm-hmm.
One time in the game, you get blocked by a giant pencil. So if you had invested in a particular scientist, he gives you the invention, the eraser, which erases the pencil. There's a lot of humor like that. Ironically, this game is called Mother 2 in Japan.
Hmm.
They called it Earthbound here because they didn't want to reveal that it's the second one in the series. Not the first time that has happened, if you remember Final Fantasy, in which Final Fantasy 2 and 4 were renamed Final Fantasy. 4 and 6 became Final Fantasy 2 and 3.
Well, why
Because,
didn't they just release the first one in everywhere else as well?
well, Mother 1 was an NES game,
Ah.
and Earthbound was a Super Nintendo game. So it's like, we didn't release the original game here. Oops. So what's funny is when this game released in America, it had the biggest box of any other game. It was about as wide as my shoulders, basically.
Wow. That's a big box.
Because they also put the full strategy guide.
Huh.
But it wasn't just a normal strategy guide like you can get today. It had scratch and sniff options in it.
Huh.
You could scratch and sniff food. You could scratch and sniff characters. That one's a little awkward.
Yeah, that one's strange. Yeah, that one's really weird.
But like also scratch and sniff some of the enemies. It is a lot of humor.
What an odd thing to sell.
Well, the idea was they were worried that Americans couldn't handle an RPG. That like Nintendo actually believed that Americans would be so overwhelmed with an RPG that they would melt and give up.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's why the strategy guide was there. The strategy guide was supposed to kind of ease you into the humor of the game and also walk you through the entire game. I gotta be honest with you, I love that strategy guide. I don't know where it happened to it.
Did you have one? Like,
Yeah. I bought the game for the Super Nintendo.
ah.
I gotta be honest, the giant box called me.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's not really a need for game cartridge boxes to be that big, I wouldn't think.
yeah, but because they had the strategy guide in there, they had to make it that big.
Yeah. It's crazy that they didn't sell it separately. Like, that
Yeah,
is
like
crazy to me.
because they actually believed that Americans couldn't handle it. It's a very big game, I will admit to that.
I mean, even so, nowadays selling it together is that's no one would ever do that. They would only ever sell it separately, and they would like throughout the game
Blizzard
say
has
this is
released
explained in the
mini
strategy
versions
guide.
of the strategy guide.
Say again?
Blizzard has actually packaged mini versions of the strategy guide with their products, like the battle chest. Yeah, But I will admit there is an unusual mechanic in the game I should probably explain though.
Hmm.
Packets of ketchup are an item in this game.
Okay.
You do not use them directly. When you pick up a food and eat it, your character will automatically grab a random condiment and pour it on the food.
And that makes the food better.
If the condiment is appropriate for the food, it will provide an improvement. It will give a buff to the healing effect of the food.
Huh.
There is a condiment for every kind of food. Like the idea is it has to make sense. You can't take coffee and mix it with mayonnaise.
Yeah.
There is one exception to this rule. There is one condiment that is the ultimate condiment and can be put on any food.
And I'm guessing it's ketchup.
Jar of delicious sauce.
Huh.
It is very, very, very expensive. So it's actually very wise to match condiments to the food that your character has in their inventory and not mix foods in condiments, because you don't choose which condiment they use.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So when you put food in a character's inventory, consider what condiments you want to put in their inventory as well. Oh,
Hmm.
by the way, every single character has their own separate inventory.
Oh, that's gonna be a lot to keep track of.
You can easily move items from one inventory to another. So you can have another character hold on to something for another character. But yes, so whenever you get another character, you get another inventory, basically. Because the idea is they can only use what's in their own pockets.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I only mention this so you're not surprised. Also, a mistake that I see a lot of people make is they don't pick up the for sale sign.
So always pick up the for sale sign.
It's a cheap item you can buy in which someone has a shop, but no one's buying anything, so he decides to sell his sign to you. This sign, when used, will summon a customer to come to you to buy from you,
Hmm.
in which you can sell them any item and offer a price, and you can haggle for it.
Huh.
Oh, I'm sorry. They will tell you what price they're willing to pay for it. So this is a good way to empty your inventory, is to sell items that you don't need anymore.
That's neat.
It's a useful item to have.
Yeah.
But I will tell you an exploit. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
In the Happy Village, where you meet the cultist, that's not important right now, they have a farmer's market in which they sell items in which you get to name the price.
Hmm.
So you can buy eggs and fill your inventory with eggs. Now, you're probably wondering why you would do this.
Because then you can use the sale sign and sell them all.
No, not yet. Yet, here's the kicker. Eggs, if not used, will hatch.
So you can sell chicken.
They will turn into baby chicks. You will hear little chick sounds. And if you wait a little bit longer, they turn into chickens. chickens are worth a lot of money.
Huh.
You see where this is going.
Yeah.
That is a great way to make money.
Huh.
With the for sale sign. Though that might be you might just want to walk to the shop if you bought a lot of eggs. But the great thing is, like, say you can't pick up an item you need, the for sale sign's great for using to remove a useless item from your
Yeah.
inventory. Ironically, there are different kinds of phones. Some charge you money to use, and some are free. In general, hotel phones are free. Hotel is a great way to heal your party. But you'll find stores and so forth and various shops as well. There's usually a major shop, and that major shop will also have a phone and an ATM. Which is nice and convenient.
Yeah, I
particularly
mean,
if
that
you
makes
need
sense.
money. The battle system is in first person from the view of your characters.
Huh.
Which with the enemy background being some trippy lights and so forth, kind of swirling around. So you kind of see your enemies dead on, if you will.
That's
So
interesting.
you don't necessarily see your party members because you're kind of like seeing it from like Ness's eye looking at the enemy. There are no useless items in Earthbound. Even a toothbrush is effective. Toothbrushes, you brush your teeth so white that it can cause the enemy to get confused or scared and cause a status effect against the enemy.
Huh. That.
So you have a lot of modern items that are used in this game that do things.
And do them very well.
Understand it's just like a chance. So the idea is it's the equivalent of the duck trying to spin something. There's an enemy duck who will try to spin something, and that will sometimes confuse you. Be careful about fighting mushrooms. If you get infected with a mushroom on your head, a mushroom will grow on your head and your controls will be reversed.
Forever?
Until you remove the status effect or you find someone who will buy the mushroom from you.
That's funny.
There is a funny there is a property you can invest in early in the game that's very, very expensive. And you're told it has a beachside view.
Mm-hmm.
And what they mean is it's missing a wall.
I mean, they're not wrong. Technically.
Talking to NPCs, you can get some very silly things. Though I think this is a good stopping point.
Yes, I do believe so.
Because I'm hungry.
I believe I am also hungry. So
Let us combine our hunger and become super hungry.
yeah, woo.
That actually sounds like a bad idea.
All right, DK, give us one moment. Well, everyone, I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, leave a like, subscribe, and goodbyes.